begin. Just waiting for a couple of people to come in, and we are going live with future. The future is here. Are you guys ready for the future? We got TheCyberPulse on YenYorkCity live. Hey, what's up, everyone? What is going on? This is your girl YenYorkCity, coming to you live from New York City. And today we have a special guest. Well, two of them, actually. And I'm super excited because we don't only just have one drummer. We have two epic drummers here on Twitch. These two streamers are phenomenal drummers. They have a whole thing going on. And best of all is, they are from the future. Yes. So we got Zerain and Riker from TheCyberPulse tonight. And, I mean, guys, I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing it to you. I'm Cyber Babe, okay? I'm Cyber Babe tonight. I had to, actually, this isn't Yen's, right? I kidnapped Yen's. I took her back. She evolved in space. And this is Zen's, not Yen's, Zen's from the future. And I'm bringing it, Cyber Babe. So, I don't do things half-ass when I get on my podcast, and every podcast is different. And today, this is a different podcast because we have two musicians from two different locations, and they're from the future. Well, I don't want to keep them waiting in the future. Let's be here in the present moment, shall we? So, are you guys ready for me?
Yes, we are ready to enter your time frame of the year 2020.
2020. Okay, I'm going to do the Michael Jackson, the shade's got to come down. All right, let's do it. And we got TheCyberPulse here on YenYorkCity. And there you go. There goes Riker from TheCyberPulse. Hey,
Hello,
Riker.
cyberspace. How is it going today?
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Excellent.
And we also have Zeron, which is, we're doing it with both of them tonight from two different locations here on YenYorkCity. So how are you? How's the future, and how's it been this year? It's been crazy this year.
It has, in fact, been very, very crazy. You adapt, you evolve, you adjust to the reality you find yourself in. And I think, like many of the wonderful hackers back there in 2020, we've been finding ourselves doing the same thing here. It's going well. All things considered, cannot complain. I will definitely say that. What say you, Riker?
Things have been been making it on my end. Things have been good. Good things have been going on, and yeah.
Hey, more Prime just came into the chat. What's up, chat? Yeah, we got Riker here, and we got Zerain. I love those names. I gotta ask you, how did you guys even come up with the whole Cyber Pulse and the brand and your names?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. So Riker, I'll let you tell your perspective, because I know we probably have two different perspectives on this that will paint an interesting, complete picture.
Right. Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it kind of well, Zorain and I have been big into like synthwave and electronic music, and just like the whole '80s aesthetic and all that kind of stuff. And so we kind of started a music stream, and it kind of took that form, and then Zorain is like kind of the mastermind when it comes to developing plot points and stuff like that. And so I'll let him.
Yeah.
There goes the rain.
Serious stuff there.
So here's what I'll say. Just to kind of start this whole breaking of the fourth wall. So Riker and I have been in bands before. We fashioned ourselves as a band, effectively, and that's the idea, is that eventually we will be getting to doing original music. And in fact, we've started some of the process around ideation on that. But so it's really a funny story, because every time I get in a band, particularly with this fellow here,
how did you guys meet?
Point of like, getting into a band together, actually.
Wow.
That was many years ago at this point. I think maybe 15, 16 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, so I was at the time looking for a band I could play guitar in, because I play guitar, I guess I would say primarily, and his band was looking for another guitarist, if I recall correctly. Somehow we got hooked up through the vocalist, I think, of that band. Was that right?
Yes, he was on one of the forums that you were on or something.
Yeah, like I was plugged into the music scene, and we knew each other, that vocalist. So.
Right. Yeah.
And
I was the other guitarist, funny enough. So neither one of us played drums in that band.
Which is really funny that we've come full circle here. But yeah, so it started with that. We've had like these epochs of time where there was that first band where we were together for a while, and then I went to be in another band, and they continued on, and then we came back into another band after that, which is the one that is the immediate predecessor to the TheCyberPulse, which was called Order of Tyr, Tyr, like the Norse god.
Oh.
And we did stuff for several years. That started around 2006 or so.
Yeah.
I mean 2106.
Cough.
Yeah. But yeah, and so that was like a kind of originally a fantasy metal band. So the first album with that is like, wizards and warriors and like dragons and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That sounds so cool.
It's super nerdy for sure, and like all of it, this is like from my whole
nerds. Love my nerds.
Yeah. Complete obsession with fantasy, sci-fi, and all
that. So are you guys
stuff.
into all that stuff, like Magic the Gathering and all that stuff?
Oh yes.
Oh, you hear that, babe?
So that album that we did, Zorain himself architected this whole concept for the album. So it's just like this whole epic story.
Yeah, and
I got to sing. That's actually where I started singing.
Okay.
Because I was playing guitar in the band, and Zorain was playing drums, and we went so long trying to find a vocalist for that thing. And there was just one day where we were doing some recording, and Zorain was like, "Go get in the closet." And so I got
you go in the closet right now.
Yes. And I sang, and he was like, "You're the vocalist. That's it. It's decided." So that was kind of the beginning of that, I guess. So
my kind of piece.
It worked out really well for a while, and then it just got to the point where when it comes to like creative projects, the hardest part that I find, especially when you're talking about multiple people involved in it, is keeping everybody energized about the idea and what you're working on and what you're trying to achieve. And I think that really became a challenge with the whole band. And over time, one person falls away, another person falls away. We had like 5 or 6 members at one point, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and
3 guitarists.
Yeah. But eventually it just kind of reduced down to the two of us, and we didn't have at that point we decided, look, we need a dedicated vocalist. We got a dedicated vocalist, and then we were able to really crank through and put out several albums. We put out what, three original albums of original music, and then one album that we re-recorded, basically the first album, because the first recording is not nearly as good as our skills evolved to over time.
7? So 7 between the last 16 years that you guys known each other. You guys are going to be like friends for life, because there's like a statistic, if like you're friends with someone more than 9 years, you'll always have them as a friend. You ever read that?
Oh, I've not, but I really believe that that's true, because at that point you've gone through enough of the cycles of understanding like how to deal with, you know, the different things in life, and how you relate to each other during those different up periods, down periods, etc. That's very fascinating. I have not even thought or heard of that before.
That's why a lot of people are friends with their childhood friends for like eternity, so like, you know, forever in their lives.
That certainly makes a lot of sense.
So 7 albums. So is every album like themed? Like, is this whole CyberPulse thing is? So you told me you had the dragons and the warlocks, and then you have the future. So like these 7 albums, did they all have their own unique entity? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the way that when we got the other vocalist, she actually wrote a lot of the vocals, and my idea was that I had this idea. It was like a background of the lore, and the vocals, the lyrics were so kind of generic, aspirational, and, you know, just like trying to, you know, make something of yourself, and that kind of fit on that lore background. But it never was like a one-to-one, like really close mapping of what the words were in the songs and the story that was always in my mind. But in my mind, it did map, and funnily enough, this is something that Riker and I've talked a lot about, but we've never really, I don't think, spoken to many other people about, is that the idea is that the CyberPulse is the next iteration of Order of Tyr. So the story in Order of Tyr gets to a point where basically there's this huge cosmic evil that gets destroyed, but in destroying that huge cosmic evil, Order of Tyr, the band members who are basically fighting this thing, they are also destroyed. And then so we come, as Riker and Zoraine, come across some archives of GovCorp. So GovCorp's we can go into the details of it, but
let's go into it. I'm here for it.
Get it.
Yes.
Zoraine is very familiar with this.
Get passionate.
Twice on our stream.
Yeah. So the idea is that over time, from your timeline, you're right, you know, there's lots of like digital advertising and stuff like that, right? You can't get away from it. It's everywhere. It's so weird. You search something on Google, and then 2 hours later you're scrolling through Instagram, and hey, this is an ad on Instagram for the thing I searched for on Google. And it's like, that's so weird. That synchronizes.
And they hear you, everything that you say. It's like if you're saying, oh, I need a new laptop, and then there's just like a flood of stuff about laptops on your Instagram feed, and like recommended stuff in your YouTube. I mean, they hear us. They hear our every move.
Absolutely. And so that's the jumping off point of the beginning of the CyberPulse lore, is that so organizations start using that and expanding that more and more, and creating technologies that do that more, I won't say invasively, but are
Thanks
just
for the
more
follow, Anna. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Accurate in picking. Oh no, that's quite all right. More accurate in picking things up. So they create this technology that what can effectively change things in front of you. So like basically imagine like a billboard where you go by the billboard, and because it knows who you are, it changes and creates a virtual reality display right in front of you that like plays out exactly the thing that you need, and you can just hit a button right there, and you'll transact, you'll pay for it, and it'll come into your hand right there, and you'll hold that thing.
That's happening in China, right? Isn't that happening in China? That you don't.
Surprised.
Yeah, like everyone, it's like paperless now everywhere you go. Like and also in Japan, I know they have some kind of system like that. They're advanced. So everything you're saying is like, it's really happening. It's becoming what you just said, basically, slowly. You know.
That's what's really creepy about this. The whole timeline and what unfolds is really projections of where I see technology going. So that's part of it for sure. And then the whole idea of cryptocurrencies.
Yes.
So the reason that cryptocurrencies exist is so that you can transact with people. You don't have to know who they are, and then there's no trail of who did this transaction with what. So it can be a purely anonymous.
Yeah, paper.
But the idea is that governments and all these organizations that want control, well, they want to be able to know this information so they can market better and manipulate better, that sort of thing. And so this whole dystopian idea where all of that just kind of escalates until you get to a point where there's a system that they've created that literally controls everything about reality, and can manipulate you in any way that you can imagine. And so many entities are fighting for control of that they decide that it's just in their best interest to join forces and to just exercise the control with that system. And that's GovCorp, is that organization. And so our mission is to fight GovCorp, to bring it down, to stop all of this from happening, or to reverse all of that from having happened. But the way that we have to do that, it's too late now. It's already happened in our timeline. So we have to tell you hackers back there in 2020 about it, so that you do the things that stop GovCorp from actually getting created. And thus it will actually destroy our timeline and destroy us in the process.
The lore.
More Prime. What's up, More Prime? What you doing? I hope you're enjoying the stream. Are you coming from the community of TheCyberPulse? So are you aware of the lore? The new lore?
More Prime is an elite level hacker.
Whoa,
yeah,
elite.
He's an OG hacker.
OG.
Like he's pre visor level OG hacker. Before we got our optical visor enhancements here.
Oh, he says he's with GovCorp.
He keeps calling out to GovCorp over and over again, and he claims it's because they have good donuts.
The donuts are not worth it, More Prime. I'm telling you.
Hey, Chicago Doggo. What? The donuts? Okay, what's your favorite donut then?
For donuts.
That's just a random question. What's your favorite donut?
Oh, favorite donut. Riker, do you have a favorite donut?
I like donuts that have the white icing and sprinkles. That's probably my favorite donut.
Yeah, that's the best one. That's because it reminds you of your childhood. It just has the sprinkles, and anything that's vanilla I love. I guess I'm simple because I like vanilla, like ice cream, especially the real vanilla, like the old-fashioned vanilla.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Legacy Drummer. So yeah, we got two amazing drummers here tonight, and they are here, and they are TheCyberPulse. If you guys are not following them, and I gotta ask you guys, I know you took a hiatus for a while, right? And so what's up with that? What's going on? I mean, I know 2020 has been crazy. So what's happening in the future, in the near present moment right now when we're living? What's going on? And what are your new projects and your new vision?
So I feel like I'm dominating the conversation, but I'll speak a little bit of that, and then I'll let Riker give his perspective as well. So we did find, so there are records of the things that happened back there in 2020, but there was a pivotal event that happened approximately in the middle of your summer there that we do not have a record for, and that change has made us have to change our approach at communicating back to you back there in 2020. And so what happened was there were a flurry of Digital Millennium Copyright Act notices issued on the platform known as Twitch.tv. And so the reality of it is that we do, drum requests right on our stream, and we didn't want to go against the terms of service of Twitch. And so we were trying to, take us a little bit of time, figure out another way forward that would definitely fall within that and make sure that we're all above the board there. That's the boring side of it. But the interesting side is we're trying to figure out a new tactic to communicate the message back to you hackers in 2020.
You started a ripple
effect.
effect.
Right, EJ Luna. That is exactly what has happened here. Things are changing quicker than we thought they were.
That's precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Twitch has been really evolving in the last year and a half because of the music channel they added. So there's a lot of new musicians coming in, and because of the quarantine and because of a lot of the venues and the live shows also not being, the way they used to be now, I don't know about arenas, but like I know little small venues are even closed, or they're very limited and people can't just hang out like they used to, right? Because I know here in a big city like New York City, it's very restricted in certain things and how many crowds. So what's the best thing? It's streaming, because you get to play for the whole entire world. Like, one of the things that I've always been telling people is, well, when you're doing this, now you actually have the whole world. I mean, with you got the universe, the thank you so much, CP Drums. Oh my god, look who's here. Yay, CP Drums. He was on the podcast actually 2 weeks ago. He's an amazing person, drummer, everything. And I gotta tell you, like, he's a cool person. Like, if you're not following him, give him a follow too. CP Drums. So are you guys familiar with CP Drums? And CP, are you familiar with TheCyberPulse? They're two drummers. So we got from TheCyberPulse Serene right here. Serene, you guys see? This is Serene. Look at him. How awesome does he look? Look at those shades. And then we got Riker right here. Look at him. Looking all suave and stuff with his shades too. So what do you guys, like, where do you guys get these whole, like, all your lights and your setup? What's your setup like?
Oh man, that is a quite a question that we could rattle on for the next 30 minutes about. But
Legacy Drummer, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
It's sub hype.
Sub hype in the chat.
TLDR, we have a scientist here in the year 2120 that crafted these visors for us with his bare hands to help us fight GovCorp. But the long story is that there's a really cool Etsy shop that dude makes all these, and they come in like all different colors and all different flavors. And Zarain actually found him, and he got a pair. Before I was wearing like these like mirror glasses, like Doc Brown wore in Back to the Future 2.
I remember those. I think I remember seeing one of your first streams with those.
Yep. And so Zarain found these visors, and he got some and was like, "Yep, that's it. We're doing this now."
It's different. It's different. I haven't seen anyone else, because those are from the future, so they're not available yet.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
Wow, that is so cool. But I love your whole everything, all your lights, and how you make everything feel like you're in space. Oh my god, what? Oh my god, thank you so much. Luna Quest coming in with that tier 3 sub, big spender. What? Thank you so much.
It's all
going hard. That's awesome.
Going in really. Hype train. Oh, I have a hype train going on. I don't think I've ever had one. This is my first hype train. Wow, hype.
Yes.
All right. Oh my god, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you being here. And the whole thing about me doing these podcasts is because just to tell you a little bit about myself. So I am an IRL streamer here in New York City. Thank you so much, Anne. Oh my god, Anne, amazing. Well, you are really amazing. Thank you so much for that 100 biddies. What? You guys coming in with that love. I feel it. I feel that love, the good vibes. Thanks so much. It makes me really, really realize, like, this community here, the music community, is one of the best communities here on Twitch. And I've been having only amazing experiences with everyone here. Whether it's all kinds of musicians. I've had different musicians. And yeah, drummers, I tend to have a soft spot for drummers. I don't know if you notice, I do have a lot of drummers, being that they're just, the heart, the heart of the song and the beat. And I really enjoy seeing how everyone here in the drum community really appreciate each other and see the difference between one and the other. Oh man, thank you for the 300 biddies. Wow. Okay, we're 76% on the hype train. Thank you.
Wow, that's awesome.
We're almost there, guys. Have you guys had a hype train yet? This is like a new thing. I don't know if you've experienced it. So, people subscribe, people throw bits, and then there's a hype train, and at the end, everyone gets like little emotes, little hype emotes that's like a new way of getting emotes to people now too. So you know, it brings.
I think we had one once with a raid. We got real lucky, and somebody had raided us, and it went really nuts at that point. So I really like all of these cool features like that Twitch is adding. I think that's really making it an extra special place, because there's especially like with the situation this year, you know, there's lots of platforms that are really trying to push the live streaming thing, but they're all playing catch up to all the stuff that Twitch has in place. So I really think that Twitch has done a really good job of setting itself apart with little things like that, and there's so many of them, right? All the different, like, you know, bit level emotes that you can put up. I mean, all kinds of really neat stuff that I think that's why, you know, Twitch is going to continue to stay out ahead of like the other streaming platforms, honestly, when it comes to building communities and having, you know, cool things like that you can connect on.
Yep.
Yeah, I do believe that, and it's the future. I've been saying that. That's ironic that I'm saying this, because I always say, I'm like, streaming is the future. Even before it was like really big, and I said, yeah, this is the way to go. This is like, wow, CP Drums coming in with the 500 biddies. What?
Nice.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Okay, so we're 96% into the hype train. So there's a minute and 33 seconds left for the hype train at 96, 98, 99. We did it! 300 biddies and amazing. What? Oh my God.
Y'all hackers doing it.
Hackers. Did you guys know this was going to happen? You guys probably knew, right? Because you're from the future. They're from the future.
A hacker never tells.
Never tells. Well deserved. Oh, thank you so much, CP Drums. You're amazing. I love you guys. All of you guys are amazing. Hacking the system.
I do agree, though. It is well deserved, because I think what you're doing here is a really cool. One, it's just a really cool experience to be able to see all of these different wonderful members of the community. But I think it's an interesting community building exercise that you have going on here. I think that it's helping make a difference in bringing, attention and understanding of all of the big variety of different streamers that are out there, especially the music stuff. I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's like we're all kind of growing together and getting to know each other. And also there's been really cool collabs that I've, you know, kind of helped to kind of know each other. Like they meet through the stream, through the chat. And then before you know it, there's like more people following each other and knowing each other. And then you see us in every stream. Like you see all of us. It's almost like when you go to school, when you go to high school or college, and we all see each other in each other's classrooms, and you're like, hey, and it's like, oh, this is math class, this is music class, this is, you know, like bass class or whatever. So we all have kind of like, we have the same community within all of us, you know, we all know each other. So it's pretty small still, but I think this is when you need to really start grinding and doing it, because like YouTube, you know how YouTube started really small and all those YouTubers are huge now? Yeah. This is like the baby steps of the music community. So just imagine, all you guys are going to be enormous. Like you got keep going, and then keep growing. And then before you know it, you're going to be like, remember when it was really small, the community, and we all knew each other? So this is what's up right now. This is where it's at. So I love doing this. I love meeting different people here. I went to TwitchCon last year and saw how a lot of them were all like hanging out in the bar, and they even had a stage and they were playing with each other, you know, on the stage. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I mean, I'm sad this year it's not going to happen, but I feel like if we keep grinding, by next year, 2021, it's going to be even that much better, because we're all going to like kind of even have more of an audience and know each other more, you know? So I love it. Yep. I love it. I wanted to do IRLs of venues in New York City and do the underground scene, but with COVID, I had to be creative. And I said, well, we have a bunch of musicians here on Twitch, so why not do it within the community, and we all get to know each other in a deeper level. So thank you so much for appreciating these streams, because it's been a journey. I've been doing it for a year now, and I've had some pretty awesome people on the show. And also, you were my first music raid, by the way, so I gotta thank you, because I was like, what? I was like, I got a raid from
awesome.
TheCyberPulse.
I did not know that.
Yes. I mean, I've had raids, but never from a music streamer. So you guys, got a really soft spot for you guys because you were my first musicians that came and rated the show. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So glad about that. Yeah, it's really cool. And talking about the community, the thing that I really think is super interesting about to your point, where we're at in the eventual history of Twitch and live streaming generally, particularly with regards to music, is that we're at a point where 80 to 90 to almost 100% of the streams that are, well, especially in the music, basically 100% of the streams that are out there are just that individual or maybe two people who are doing that stream themselves together. So they're doing like everything about it basically. And so they're putting their fingerprints on, what do the layouts look like? What's the color scheme look like? What's the production of the show look like? What's the order of what we're doing here? Let's put in something that's just crazy and kooky and different because we're ridiculous and crazy and kooky and different at this point in the stream. And so you get a lot of that essence and spirit of who that person is in the stream in a way that you don't get when you see, like, for example, let's just say like a really big band were to do a live stream. They would come on, they would do their show, and it would be really good, well produced, it would be enjoyable and worthwhile, but you wouldn't get like that individual basis, his perspective, and you wouldn't see him and his banter and just the kind of personality that he has and brings to it. So that's what I think is really cool about the smaller scale and this early curve, is that you get to understand more about the artists, and it's so much closer and tighter and intimate that it's a really special kind of experience.
Super special. Yeah. And then also we were talking about it with other streamers, how you don't have to worry about unpacking and getting your stuff jacked or stolen.
Oh, good grief. Yes.
And damaging your equipment. Everything is there, and then no matter rain, shine, whatever, you can go live, and it's like, okay, I can go anytime from the comfort of my own home, and then people are enjoying it, and they get to interact with you, which is the beauty of it. You get to meet them in a way that you probably can't with other musicians. And there's a lot of bigger musicians that are coming into the platform too, but that's also a plus, because then they're bringing in more community of music lovers. So then this underground is going to start rising up and being kind of like more mainstream. Before you know it, we're going to be finding a lot of famous, more well-known musicians picking and choosing and cherry picking from you guys, like the streamers that are the beginning of the music community here. So I feel like that's a lot of what's happening. Slowly we're starting to see that, so that's what I'm saying, like, grind it now, do it now, because this is the time. Like, we have the whole COVID thing going on, but remember, there's always, you got to look at the good and the bad of everything. So make the best of everything. Just like I didn't think I was going to start doing streams here with people in the community, in the music community here, other than New York City, but I had people from all over the world. I mean, I've had Robson, amazing bass player. He was in Brazil, and I have Canadian, like, CP Drums is from Canada. You guys are from here in the States, so you guys are from different parts, but you're still making it work. So, you got to find ways, and if you enjoy playing together and streaming together, you're just going to grow together, as a community. So I love that. You can be pantless. Yes, you can be pantless. You could be wearing no shoes and then have a party in the top. I mean, I have boots on, so I am full on, I did it today. But yeah, sometimes I got my flip-flops and I'm like business in the top, and I got my flip-flops in the bottom. So, let's be real. We could do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's advantages. There are definitely advantages. So what's your schedule like? Do you feel like you're going to start streaming again, like, and have a set schedule for, the people that are watching now that want to catch you live?
Yeah, I think that we're coming back to that. I think part of what we're trying to do is figure out a show to produce with what we're doing that will incorporate, maybe some of the covers and the just playing the drums to songs that are allowable under terms of service, and with artists, because there's lots. This is what's really cool about this whole situation. There's lots and lots of artists that have said, look, it's cool for you to use our music on stream, for covering, etc. We're cool with it. Go out there and use it. I've been working on a list to collect as many of those as I can. And there's a lot of other really good resources that have long lists of those too, to kind of work that in, but then also bring in this, kind of original flavor that we're really trying to do with not only original music, but also the idea of the lore. And I just have this vision for like skits and memes
Ooh.
and green screen stuff. And one of these
Yes.
days.
You know what I think you guys should do? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. You guys should probably do like a variety stream of different things like that. For sure.
That's exactly, yes.
And I know you
That's a
guys did
great idea.
podcasts too, right? So you did podcast and you did like variety streams. That would be like your thing, like because you have the personality, you have the setup, you have the music, and then you have your themes. So you can have like a theme every month or do meme night. There's different ways of going, but you have an idea there that could be like the next thing that people are going to be like watching and wanting to see, like, oh, there goes that variety show. What CyberPulse, let's see what the future holds. And so, you could do so much with this brand that you have here. You could do so much. So I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do next.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, because that's, and I think that's what you really hit the nail on the head of precisely what we've had lots of conversations, especially recently, about this. And that's kind of where we had seen it going before. Like initially it was like, let's do a live show as a band. We just want to play our music and then, play some covers maybe. And if somebody wants us to play a song, we'll see if we can learn it and play it. And that kind of evolved into, well, people really like requesting songs because it's like they get to share the music they like with the streamer, and then the streamer gets to kind of interact with that. And that's a really cool aspect too. But my brain just doesn't sit still on one thing. You can probably tell by now. It's always going in every direction, and it just has to express itself.
Yeah, same. And I know. Yeah, because we were talking on Discord, and you were like, yeah, well, I'm down. I could talk. I know you could talk. We're going to be on, and we're going to be just talking about different topics here. So Riker, we got to ask Riker, Yes. I know you're the singer, right? You're the singer.
I am. I do, in fact, dabble in singing. It is a thing that occurs sometimes.
Wow. So are you working on anything particular now in this COVID? Like, I know a lot of people are now being even more creative because they have more time to play around with originals. And I'm all about the originals. And I know you dabble in memes and things like that too, in your spin on things on your Instagram.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I will become not Riker here for a moment. So breaking the fourth wall.
The sunglasses came off.
Yeah. So
that was like me.
So I'm Michael K. Going back to kind of like the order of tier thing that Zerain was talking about before. We got into video game metal. We were like, we started with fantasy metal, and then it kind of evolved into a video game metal band.
Whoa.
And kind of like ever since then, everything that we've ever done has been influenced by like video game metal, like Power Glove or Arm Cannon, or like video game sounding keyboards and synths and all that kind of stuff. And so I started a vocal cover channel like what was it, Zerain, like a month and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah, mid-July, something like that. Yeah.
Oh wow. So this is new.
Yeah, so all the vocal covers, and this is kind of something that I dabbled in maybe about 10 years ago and just kind of stopped because it was a lot of effort. Zerain has been encouraging me for the past 10 years to start doing this again. So here I am.
Zerain! See, that's why he's your bestie right there, because he's always giving you that extra push. Like, you could do it. You could do it, Riker. Come on.
Right.
I mean, Mike. All right, he's Mike now. All right. So what? That's amazing. Metal.
So the vocal covers are very influenced by video game metal. So it's kind of as if a video game metal band were playing these songs, and it's just kind of all over the place as far as like the kind of things that we're doing. So we've done like the Power Rangers theme, and if
I've
some
heard
of
that
you-
one. That one's amazing. I love that.
Thank you,
That's
thank
so
you.
hype. Like when you play it, right? It's so hype. Everybody's
Yeah.
like putting in the different emotes and oh my god, that's
Right.
I go crazy with
So-
that one too.
A lot of these showed up on the CyberPulse stream, like the Power Rangers theme, the Pokemon theme.
Gotta catch 'em.
Tonight by Sunset Neon is one that we just released this past weekend. But yeah, I mean, it ranges from like stuff like that to just kind of like some spoilers here, like Eye of the Tiger and Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Wow.
And you did Every Time We Touch by Cascada.
Yeah.
What? That sounds
Yeah,
so
so-
fun.
So yeah,
So okay,
That's,
so that's the thing that's in the works right now with the
that is yes, it is going and going and going. And I kind of the idea behind that is like, yeah, it's its own thing, but at the same time, a lot of that stuff can be incorporated back into the CyberPulse stream and all that. So it's kind of a double whammy for us because we have like all these, instrumental tracks and stuff that we've built for these songs, and yeah, so
And they just happen to have guitar, and I happen to play guitar, and then at some point we'll
Yes.
be able to do it all together.
exactly.
Wow. So when did you know that you wanted to be a musician? I didn't ask you guys. Like when did you what was the first instrument you learned how to play, and when did you fall in love with music?
Oh man, yeah. So that's a good question. So I didn't really fall in love. The first instrument I played was piano. I started playing piano when I was 4, and I didn't really fall in love with it or anything. I was just playing hot cross buns on the piano.
Did your parents force you to like take lessons or?
Absolutely. And the funny
Yes?
thing about this is that my cyber digital mother, she told me, son, you were going to be so thankful that we made you take piano lessons. And at the time I was like, Psh, I don't want to practice. I don't want to do any of this stuff. And well, here we are.
See, she saw the future.
Exactly. But I didn't really, I don't think, fall in love with music until I started, I transitioned to tenor saxophone when I was in the 8th grade. And I started playing saxophone in the band, and I played like 2 or 3 hours literally every single day. And I think that's kind of when I started to really kind of like fall in love with music. And then I kind of got into guitar and drums and then vocals later on, and then just kind of kept going from there.
Wow, the saxophone. That's awesome. I love that. So what's your favorite band, and what was your biggest influence when it came to like that? Because that's jazzy, right? So are you into you're a lot of things. Metal, video games. So what are your I'm gonna ask both of you guys actually.
For saxophone, funny enough, on saxophone, I mainly played video game music.
Really? What?
Yes, as funny as that is, like I would, so I kind of when I was like in elementary school and middle school and all that, I listened to a lot of video game music, and this is probably the most 90s thing I could ever say.
Oh, the 90s.
But I mean the 21 anyway. So in the 1990s. So I had my my Super Nintendo rocking on a sound test for some game, and then I would pull out my my Talk Boy. So for those of you who do not know, the Talk Boy was in Home Alone 2.
Yes.
It was what Kevin McAllister
Leave it on the
walked around with, like,
doorstep
whole
and get the
movie.
hell
Yes.
out of here.
So I rocked one of those back in the day, and I would record video game music onto these cassette tapes and
Oh my
listen
God.
to them forever. And then eventually I graduated to, like CD-based games. I would record those in a boom box onto a cassette tape and made my own, mixtapes or whatever.
That's how we did it back then.
Doing that,
I
yeah.
had one of those. That's how we did it. And we remembered, see, this is why I resonate so much with, like the 80s and the 90s babies, because we had it both ways. We know, oh my God, that sounded so wrong. We had it when we didn't have the internet and the iPhones, and we had also, great childhoods and the video games, and we saw the video game world evolve, and then the phones evolved. And also we had really great music back then too that ended up influencing, I mean, it's changed so much now. So we are the generation that we know and appreciate it, because we had those CD players that when we walked down the street, we wanted to jam out, and whenever we hit a step, it would skip. And we're like, damn it. You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
Anti-skip technology. That was a revolutionary thing when that happened.
System Shock TV, thanks for the raid. Oh my God, what?
Yeah, buddy.
Man.
System
Shock
Shock,
2
represent.
Exactly.
What's up, raiders? Thanks so much for the raid. Welcome. Today we have two amazing streamers, two amazing musicians. They played many different instruments. They are TheCyberPulse. And we got Riker and Zerain here. And this is Riker right here. And he's telling us all about his journey on music, on how he played piano as a child, then saxophone. He's a lead singer of the band. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow, Nix. Thanks so much, 1976. And yeah, so you could probably appreciate our conversation. We're talking about the 90s. We're talking about kids that grew up and were born in the 80s and 90s, how we had it, like, we remember what it was like to wait for that song to come on the radio. And we're like, oh no, we got to record it. And we would like miss the first 30 seconds of the song.
Yeah.
And we would make, we would make mixtapes though. You know what I mean? Or we used to sit there and wait for the new video that would come out, yeah, it was great, So we know we had the struggle and we can appreciate it. So yeah, I remember those. I remember that whole the Kevin McAllister. Everybody used to say that. So that's what you used to call it, right? The talkie thing. So wow, so that's how you started. So video game music. I love how you have the metal and the video game, and also you have a Pokemon. It's not a meme, but it's like the song, but metal, kind of more like Metallica meets Pokemon.
Yes. Melody.
Like I heard it. So your Instagram has little clips of these So are you gonna show us today some of it?
Man, I can absolutely do that
For the raiders,
1000%.
because they just came in. We got to show them, the
put my visor back on now.
Oh yes. Gotta put
blurry.
The sunglasses go back on. Put my sunglasses on. Thanks so much, guys, for the raid. Welcome in. My name's Jens. I'm from New York City. I usually have IRLs, but with COVID and stuff, a lot of the different venues are closed at the moment. So for the last few months, I've been having this amazing time interviewing, podcasting, all the musicians here on Twitch, and it's been a blast. So right now we are here with TheCyberPulse, and they are showing us all their things, that from like their original stuff to their memes. They're planning on having a variety stream. So if that's not hype enough, let me put their name right here in the chat so you guys can all give them a follow. Please give them a follow, because they are super fun, hyper energetic in the best way. So when you go see them, you will not fall asleep, okay? This is the kind of hype that you want when you go into their streams. You're gonna see they have the lights, the setup, the energy, all the good vibes, and also they are from the future.
Accurate.
All right, so right now Riker is going to show us his singing, and he's going to do so. How would you introduce this?
So this is the Pokemon theme. I don't know that it needs much more introduction other than that, but it's the Pokemon theme in the style of a video game metal band, I guess.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you're here first on YenYorkCity. All right, take it away, Riker.
no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Whoa, you're my best friends in a world we must defend. So true. Our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, yeah. Every challenge along the way, with courage I will face. I will battle every day to claim my rightful place. Come with me, the time is right. There is no better team. Arm in arm, we'll win the fight. It's always been my dream. Pokemon, it's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Whoa, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. So true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, yeah. Gotta catch 'em all. Ha! I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. Pokemon, it's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Whoa, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. So true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, Pokemon.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow. What? And amazing. What? Coming in 500 biddies. Oh my God. Well, now we know why she's amazing. Thank you so much for the biddies, 500 biddies. And you also gave a lot of love before, too. 300 biddies coming in strong. And amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh my God. That was amazing, Riker.
Thank you,
How long did it take to like make it into this whole metal medley? Like it was like you had a bunch of stuff there. You have the guitar. It was like Metallica meets Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Well, so just kind of going back to the Metallica thing. Metallica was like my first favorite band. So as if that's probably not obvious that has crept into my voice a lot over the years.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. But I don't know. Zorain and I, when did we start that? We started it. It was one of the first.
Question.
Yeah, it was one of the first songs that we played on the stream. I think it was in 2018. I mean 2118. That we
When we were playing in a super hot garage live together in the south of the United States.
Yes.
Super hard garage. Oh my God. I know EJ can relate to that. With those the super hot garage days.
Yeah. So like the first, I don't know, like handful of streams that we did were from my garage, and we would set up all of this stuff basically in my garage every single time we did it. And there was like a whole backdrop and all this nonsense and whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of, the song's kind of in the style of what we've done in the past with Order of Tyr. So, it honestly didn't take too terribly long, and kind of the way that we write stuff is one of us will start something, and then we'll kind of get some stuff done, and then we'll trade it, and then the other will kind of add their flavor on top of it, and kind of like maybe tweak and change some stuff and whatever. And so,
So that's how the
honestly,
songs, that's how it started, like evolving, and
Yeah.
then it just became this whole thing where, like, so is that's not your first one. You have like an array of different ones of video game related, metal meets
Yep.
video game. I love that.
Yep.
And it's different. I don't think anyone's really been doing that, especially here on Twitch. I haven't seen it like that. So that's good.
If anybody knows of anybody, I'd love to meet them and watch their stream. That's for sure.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's what I'm saying though. That's what's up.
Yep.
Because it's unique and no one else is doing it. You want to stand out and be unique and have your own thing. We all have our own thing. We all have our own flavor, and you guys have several things going on for you guys that are very unique and different. So come on, give us more streams, honey, because we need more streams. We need more future TheCyberPulse streams.
This is true.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And I think what we did with the stream before, I mean, Zoraine, you want to go into some of the technical stuff?
Yeah, let me go back to Zoraine, because I'm going back and forth with you guys, trying to get like both, All right.
So, when we were first doing the music together, we were playing effectively. We were playing some original stuff and some of the covers where I was playing guitar, he was playing drums. It took us a long time to figure out a technical setup to make that happen because we are physically not co-located. So he's approximately 600 and something miles away from me, and that creates challenges clearly when you want to play synchronously as a band, but then add on the challenge of wanting to do that together, in time with each other, but then also send that to another server that's remote to Twitch so that, it all works the way that you want it to. So I can't really take credit for coming up with this because I believe almost all of the ideas that we implemented eventually originated with Riker. But so the way that it works is Riker will stream to me. So I run a server at my house. It's really just a virtual machine, a virtual server. But so he will stream to me as if he were streaming to Twitch. But it comes into my computer, and then I use the input of that stream as the source into OBS, and then compose a view, and then I stream to Twitch from here. That's the simple view of it. The thing that makes it tricky is that we have to get synchronized in a way such that I make sure that I'm in time with him and I know exactly when he's going to start so that we can start together and stay together. And the way that we do that is very ridiculous. When you do streaming, the protocol for streaming allows you to send 5.1 audio, so 6 audio channels. But Twitch, you only send 2 to Twitch, left and right. So what we do is he sends 6 to me, and then he sends a bunch of different stuff on those 6. And I split those audio tracks out. And one of them has a click so that we remain in time together. Some of it has like his drums separate from music so that we can mix it better with what I'm doing. So there's actually a mix, effectively a live mix of what we're doing at my location. And then that goes out to Twitch where we can really control it all separately because it gets split out here. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It sounds kind of hackerish. No, I'm just kidding. It sounds like it sounds really rigged. But like I said, I'm like, are you guys really not aliens? Because how does this even work?
I still can't confirm whether or not I'm an alien. Even my own brain's unaware if I'm an alien or not. But yeah, it is really hacked. It is absolutely rigged because that's how we had to back into a way of being able to figure out even how to do it. Because there's technologies that allow you to do like one piece of it, like where you can like play music together. And that part that there's a few different pieces of software and different things you can use to do that. but then to additionally try to send it somewhere else in time, that's where it starts getting really weird. And I don't think there are too many people working on that problem right now, or if they are, we weren't able to find them.
Yeah. EJ's like, I'm a tech guy, and this is beyond me. Yeah, it sounds like, well, you know what? It works. It works,
Yeah.
and that's the most important part, and I'm here for it. So tell me, are you gonna commit to a schedule? That's my question, because I want to be there for it, and I want to know when you guys are gonna start really coming in strong. And I know that it's gonna take some time, but I mean, give us something, you know what I mean? Like, tell us, do you have anything planned for like the next month, a big event or a big, maybe like new, launch of something?
So we don't currently, but I'm going to take some liberty here and say, yes, we will. I think that you're absolutely right. It behooves a commitment to really impel action toward it. I think, Riker, we could figure something out within the next month to have, if nothing else, a special event to try to kick something off here.
I agree with this.
Yeah, and the reality of it is, we definitely miss not streaming, because not the least of which is all of the wonderful people that we've been able to meet in the whole process. And I know that several of them are listening here. I've heard their names tonight. I'm looking at you, More Prime and Amazing, and I know that there are many others too.
Aww.
I really, it sucks in a way, because you want to do it, but then you want to do things right. You want to do it above the board. Don't want to go out of line with terms of service and all that kind of stuff. So
look, Prime is in tears. He's in tears right now. You got him in tears. I'm about to cry myself because I need a date. No, I'm just kidding. I want to be there for it. So I definitely hope you guys give them a follow so you guys don't miss it. Get those notifications there going so you guys don't miss it. And I really hope that you guys, I mean, even if it's once or twice a week, maybe. I know it's hard because, the schedules are different. But your time zones are not different, right? You guys are, like, in the same. Correct. So, yeah. So, I mean, we
that does make it a lot easier to sync up.
No.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm your date. Oh, yeah. Aw, honey. Aw, Luna Quest coming and saying, I'm your date. Yeah, we're going to watch them together. And I'm gonna be with Luna this weekend, guys, and he has a new setup. So make sure that you guys, I'm gonna be there, and we're gonna do some swing, electric swing. So I'm gonna dress up I'm always coming out with some kind of outfit with the theme. So I had to be cyber today, cyber babe. So look out for that stream, EJ Luna Official. So I feel like there's definitely something in the variety stream, like that's fun. You guys are super fun, and you have that, that I feel like you have that energy too. So do you have like an actual what do you guys do to set up to do a stream? Like, do you guys like getting hopped up on energy drinks, or like what is it that you? I mean, you guys have some energy. Like when I've seen you guys, and you go for hours too.
Yeah. So for me, I'll just real quick. When we're actually playing the drums, yes, there's an energy drink just to my right, because if not, then I would definitely be, falling off the drum throne, falling asleep.
I got coffee.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm a coffeeist myself. We have this running thing on the stream where coffee does not exist in 2020 or 2120. Excuse me.
I was gonna ask you. I was gonna say it. Yeah.
And so it's like synthetic coffee or whatever. So I just drink that to stay energized.
Imagine that it just tastes like water, but it still has the caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow! You guys are so creative with these ideas. It's like Pepsi. Remember that clear Pepsi back in the days?
Yeah.
You
Pepsi
remember?
Crystal.
Yes, you remember? Because
Yeah.
like I remember. Yeah, I was like, how do they? And it tastes just like Pepsi, but it's clear.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is really strange, and you can actually still find some of that on eBay. From time to time, it'll pop up like unopened cases of it.
Really? But I mean, who would drink it? It's more like just for show, right? Like those old crystal bottles and stuff. Wow.
Yeah, some people collect all that kind of thing, and that's like a real rare item in that world.
Yep.
So
very interesting.
So what's your favorite movie then from the 80s? Would it be?
Man.
So I cannot I cannot just pick one of these. It has to be the whole thing. But Back to the Future is mine.
Yes, mine too.
Yeah.
I like know every line in that whole like franchise, like the first, the second, the third.
Yeah.
The third one, it was like one of my least favorites. I don't know if I'm like it's weird or something, but like the first one and the second one are my faves. And then it made me feel sad, like when the time machine got like run over. I mean, spoiler alert. Like, spoiler alert. Yeah, it made me sad, but like, you know, that's my favorite. And I know there's a streamer that has a lot of themed Back to the Future, Mitch, and he's another cool streamer that he does the theme, and I love that. I love a lot of the drummers have their own theme and stuff. So what would you call your theme? Like cyber punk or cyber metal, or what is it that you would categorize your style?
Zoraine, what is that tagline that you put on everything?
Wait, which one?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Brother, there's like 30.
Oh man.
So
Zoraine, answer the question.
The original I got you, fam. I got you.
Thanks.
The original
Light
concept
speed
was
metal or something like that.
Oh, night speed metal. Yeah.
That's what
so
it is. Yes.
Night speed? Oh.
Yeah. So that was the kind of idea of the genre, but the aesthetic was like a crossover between synthwave and cyberpunk. So the lights and all of that is coming from the kind of synthwave aesthetic, you know, like the purples and the pinks against each other.
Yes, I feel that.
And yeah, and then the whole idea of like hackers and technology and the future and all that, that's the cyberpunk influence. And then like mega corporations and governments, you know, taking things over, that's also that cyberpunk influence as well. So it's kind of like a hybrid of those two.
Yeah, I love your color scheme. I love the greens and the purples because you don't see that often, and I like the combination of it too. And I like
the big thing was for us to try to make it as visually striking as possible. That was I think the goal when we set out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that
really
was
like
kind
it.
of our initial target was like if somebody's scrolling through a bunch of streams or something, then they would see ours and be like, "Whoa, neon! Gotta check this out."
Yes, I believe that that's true because you know why McDonald's is yellow and red, because to the human eye those are the most striking colors, and it's also the two colors that make us hungry the most.
Interesting.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I guess the red's the apple, right?
Yeah, the yellows.
And the yellow's the banana.
Oh, banana hype. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, bananas and
Wow.
apples. Yeah. It's
I
kind
never
of.
even thought about that. Wow, that's amazing.
I'm coming in with these, you know, these human nature facts and stuff, you know, with the
That's
with
good
the
stuff.
friendship, with the what makes you hungry,
Yeah.
and the colors. Yeah, so
Definitely.
you really hit it on the nail because that's true. When you scroll and you see some flashing stuff or lights, you're gonna go for what is more striking, right? So you guys got it right there with the purples and the greens, especially. Wow.
And the big thing too is I always wanted to design the stream I wanted to see, right? And so that's what I would want to see if I'm going to a music stream. You know, it's awesome to see somebody streaming that clearly has the amazing ability, right? But when they have like the scene set, and it doesn't have to be wild or anything, right? Just, you know, things that are cool in the background. It's clear that they put some intention and some care into their background, and there's so many wonderful ones that do that. To me, I always wanted to make sure that what we were doing was putting that level of attention and care into the streams that we were putting out there.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love your emotes. Your emotes are pretty fun. Like I gotta show his emotes. Like I love this one's one of the ones I use the most with the. Is that Riker, the one with the orange? Or yeah, that's Riker, right, with the orange.
Yeah.
The pop. I love that one. That one's like. I always like funny ones, like the ones that look like you're, because it could be used for like wow, screaming, excitement, or anything. You know, I love that, and yeah, I think emotes are important too because I've subbed to people that I don't even watch, but I love their emotes. Is that weird?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
No,
That's good stuff.
there's probably at least two or three channels that I'm sub to now, just because I want to drop that emote every once in a while.
Right?
Right.
It's just it's that kind of thing, you know. But it's also awesome to support people because you actually want to watch
Oh,
them
yeah.
too.
But
you know?
that's part of the deal too, right? Is that's the stream is putting all this content out there. That's part of the content, and you're really appreciating them for that content. And again, going back to that whole character, is the emotes really give you a lot of insight to the character of the person in the stream. It's so wonderful how all parts of the ecosystem work together to kind of give you this real overall impression of the streamer and the stream itself. It's really a unique, interesting thing.
And no other platformer is doing it that way with the badges. So
Yep.
you feel like your community is your community, and everybody has their badges, and the tiers and things like that. So
Exactly.
when you guys developed your emotes and everything, did you? Hey Sam, did you already know what you were gonna go for, or did you just like are you guys the artists that did the emotes? Do you guys do art too?
Not quite. I dabble in graphic design, but dabble is really the only word there.
Dabble.
Rain is
We actually-
our resident graphic artist and video editor.
Hey Cookie.
That's true.
Yeah. So there's that.
But we commissioned an artist to do those emotes, and we were super happy with how they came out. The idea was that we wanted to put our flavor on, some kind of broader, more popular type of emotes. Obviously, Pog from Poggers.
Yes.
And then we have the feels one. So, and then we also have the sweat. So like the feels is like the crying one with I have my visor up and crying, and then the
Yeah.
sweat is the oh my goodness, what's gonna happen?
I love that.
Yeah. And so the idea, I think the next one was going to be a lull emote. So it was just going to be like Riker laughing.
Yeah,
Did you
that's a good
mention
one.
Saxophone.
Oh, we have a saxophone too, because
Yes.
we're both saxophone players. I play
Yes.
alto saxophone.
Wow. So how many instruments do each one of you guys play then? You guys sound like you actually have multi-instrumental streams, right? With different instruments. Because I know I saw what was it? What do you call that? That it looks like a keyboard, guitar?
The guitar.
Guitar. Wow.
The guitar.
Guitar.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to retrieve
Here
it.
you go.
Oh, there it is.
Oh wait, let me put it on the screen. Let me put it on the screen. Oh wow, look at it.
Yeah. So yeah, you hold it like this and you do your thing.
I haven't seen anyone really play any of the
The guitar is
The
like
guitar.
such, I think it's just like such an over-the-top ridiculous thing. I love it.
Yeah.
but it's so good.
And I'm so much
Yeah.
better with my right hand than my left hand, like playing piano and stuff. It's perfect for me. So
It works. So what's your favorite instrument that you play then? If you was to choose one.
Oh, man, that's a terrible question.
That's a
I mean,
terrible
a great
question.
but
It's
a
hard.
terrible
All
question.
right, top. All right, in a row, like from 1 to 3, like out of all the instruments, what are your top 3 like that you enjoy the most, that you pick up more often? I guess I should say.
So
What do you think?
for me, and this is interesting, considering like I've been doing the drum thing hardcore and every time somebody asks me this question, I have to do some math and think about it. 18 years now. So for the longest time, drums was kind of that for me, but for some reason, there's something about singing that it feels like I can really express I become one with the things that are exiting my mouth, or
You are the instrument.
exactly.
Yeah, you
I
are
just-
the
I feel
instrument.
like it is like the most expressive thing I can do musically.
I can
So
resonate.
probably singing, honestly, and then drums. I played guitar for a long time, but Zorain is a million times better guitarist than me. Even though for the longest time I was playing guitar and he was playing drums, but and then we kind of traded for the CyberPulse. But I mean, third instrument, I probably maybe piano.
Ooh, I didn't
haven't-
expect that one.
Yeah. I need to do some more practicing. I'm kind of like out of practice on the piano thing, and the words that my mother spoke to me about "you will be thankful for this one day" come back to haunt me all the time when I'm just thinking,
Yes.
if I had just kept practicing this whole time, then this would be a different situation. But here we are. So.
Wow, it makes sense though. I mean, I definitely resonate with the singing because to me singing is what I feel the most deeply passionate about. But I've dabbled. I'm using your word now. I've dabbled with playing drums, guitar, bass. But yeah, and also I took like very few piano lessons in high school. But yeah, because you are the instrument. You feel everything, and you get to express it. And then if you write, then you write your emotions, and it just comes out and it flows.
Yep, definitely.
So I totally resonate with that feeling, and I understand you. But yeah, the whole two drummers in the stream, how does that work? Do you feel like one feels more like the lead and the other one's just the one that's doing the solos more?
Zarain's over here just nodding his head.
Wait, let me go to Zarain. Let me go to Zarain. All right, go ahead.
The funny part about this is that as much as he says I'm a better guitarist than him, he's definitely the better drummer of the two of us by far. And so for me, it's interesting because our drum sounds are very different. He's more like a progressive metal drummer, so like complicated stuff, really fast double bass drum.
He's progressive.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. For me, I'm more of a I think what people would call in the pocket drummer, although I'm not that great at it. I like to lean back, and so think about like groove based stuff and like maybe even like funk sort of stuff. That's more of like my speed when it comes to drums. I'm not very good at double bass. I'm decent at some metal stuff, and I've played in metal bands before. Clearly, as a drummer, it's just it's kind. I always feel like my skills are behind where they need to be for doing that kind of stuff, because I never really practice it, because it's not fun for me to sit down and just go helicoptering on the bass drum for like an hour to build up the muscles that are required for that. But it is a lot of fun for me to sit down and just kind of groove with something, so it's very interesting how it's different like that.
And just to kind of add to the groove thing, I mean, like he is like so groovy and in the pocket. A lot of times he will write things that I just literally cannot wrap my brain around because they're just so groovy. And like he can play them flawlessly, but I'm just like, so.
Oh man. So I know you were saying you had a video that you wanted to show me. Do you have it? Is it Zarain?
Yeah, I do have the video. I was just thinking, I'm not sure how I'm going to get the audio to you, because like, Riker, can you think of how I would send audio from a YouTube video into Discord on the fly?
I can do that on the fly.
Oh,
excellent. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you are much more flexibly set up than I am.
Wow, so that's really interesting. So you would say that, I'm just assuming, I guess, that you are more into playing the guitar than the drums, then that's your number one instrument.
Yeah, definitely. I would say the guitar is number one, drums is number two, and number three would be marimba.
Oh, really?
That sounds like a joke, but seriously.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's a beautiful instrument.
I love it. I was a percussionist, through school, and then even into college. I took percussion lessons, and I got pretty good, I would say, relatively speaking, on keyboard instruments. So percussive keyboard instruments. So that's marimba, xylophone, vibraphone, all of those. And I just really love the way that a marimba sounds. And if you have like a really huge concert marimba in front of you, I love the way it feels to play it. You can like feel the vibration of it in front of you and in your hands when you're hitting the keys. It's a very visceral instrument to me, and the sound of it is just so pleasing, like to hear it and to feel it wash over you. It's just a really cool experience for me to play that instrument.
That's really cool. I didn't know that you played that. Did it ever appear in your streams? Because I don't think I've seen those streams.
I don't have a marimba. That's the problem. Because they're really, really expensive, especially the good ones.
Yeah.
They do make like MIDI controllers. So basically think about like the keytar, but instead of it being like a keyboard, it's like the little keys that you can hit with mallets. They make that, and I've considered getting one of those, but they're also not cheap, but definitely cheaper than a real marimba.
Yeah, I know.
One of these days, maybe.
I know, like me and the sitar. I always wanted one, but they're really expensive.
Yeah. That's a really cool instrument.
Yes, right?
I love all of those instruments, especially instruments that you can make like quarter tones on. It's so expressive,
good.
super, super expressive sort of stuff.
Yeah, because that's what I'm kind of into, because, we all have our own thing and our own style. So my thing is I have like a very unique, because I'm a yoga instructor, so I want to make more like meditation music, but I wasn't joking when I said I want to make meditation metal music also. And like kind of
awesome.
combine, yes, right? Combine it, like start it off really flowy and like, just like breathe in and get into it and inside and exhale. And then, and then at the end, it's going to go crazy and then it's going to wake you up. And then
there you go.
And then that's it. You go crazy and then you have energy to like do anything you want and run a marathon. But you got to
sign up for that.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it together. And we could just combine all our, weird stuff because it makes sense. It all makes sense. Just like metal Pokemon, it just does. It works.
Because it's the emotion, right? It's that connection between our physical body and our spirit, and the emotion works as that bridge often, and we can trigger that emotional bridge with music and with lights, all kinds of different things.
Yes,
it's really,
and that's the whole thing.
really
like
amazing.
Get the lights going with the mood of it, and like have it be a whole body experience, mind, body, and soul, and music. So that's my thing that I'm working on. I'm excited to see different kinds of, avenues of new genres that we're creating in a way, because I don't think anybody's really doing that much now, so it's something that I'm excited about because, let's create a new sound. It's 2020, man. Like, where's the new sound?
Yep.
We're supposed to be living in the future already, right?
Yes. And what kind of music does the future hold? I mean, I think every decade there's a new sound, right? So
Yeah, I think that what's interesting, and I think that is going to be emerging over, we're gonna get here into Nostradamus mode, Zareen.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
We're gonna find that the next real wave is gonna when I say what I think it is, it's gonna sound like it's a reemergence of something that's already happened, but I think it's gonna happen in an opposite direction. It's gonna be a crossover between hip hop and metal, but it's not gonna be like rap core and all that stuff that happened in like the late 90s, early 2000s, like POD and all those bands.
Yeah.
It's gonna be flipped, because that was a lot of like metal and hard rock adding in hip hop. It's gonna be the opposite. It's gonna be hip hop adding in metal flavor. So you're gonna see like I think you're gonna see really high profile hip hop artists starting to bring guitar, like distorted guitar, into their music. You're already seeing that some, with like hard trap stuff.
Yes,
like really crazy. Yeah,
it's weird. They're calling it emo rap. That's what a lot of them are.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and then one of the, is it X, that he was influenced, and also all these Trippie Redd, and what was the other X? I know he said he was very influenced by John Lennon. So it's interesting.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So there's definitely that, a lot of rap, and they're introducing the rock element. So I'm seeing that too. I'm definitely seeing that.
Because I think what's really going to come out of that is in like the early 2000s, there was this whole underground thing, and it got pretty big, but it never went into like serious mainstream status of metalcore, which was like very rhythmic breakdowns, and like songs were like beginning to end, it was just rhythmic breakdowns. That's what I think is going to get applied to hip hop, because it's already really driving and rhythmic. And then imagine that with those guitars mixed back a little bit, where it's still, you're hearing the beat more and less of the guitar, but the guitar's there and you really have that flavor. I really think that's going to be a thing.
It is going to be a thing. Linkin Park originated that. Yes, and also Rage Against the Machine, let's not forget.
Yeah, definitely.
Rage did that. And but yeah, I mean, when you really go back, I mean, remember when Blondie did the whole what was it, with Run DMC, and that was rare back then, so there's been little touches and things here and there in rock music, but now it's just becoming some other animal, some other genre. So that's interesting to see, and I love that because there's nothing more beautiful when you can combine different cultures and different types of expression within the music, because music is universal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
totally.
love that. I love that. So what else? I haven't asked you guys top 10 drummers and albums, because the last drummer I had here, he gave me the idea. It was Chris. It was Darkman24. He said, I want to answer this question, my top favorite drummers. And I'm like, that's a great question. I'm going to add to drummers that come on the show.
Oh man.
Riker, I know you got some.
So Mike Portnoy is probably, well, he's definitely my favorite drummer.
Oh my God. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Okay. EJ Luna official. That's his main favorite drummer. And
Nice.
yeah. So you guys will like get along and like love his setup. I don't know if you ever seen it. Yeah. That's his dude. So yeah, because you said, I know he said that you were a big progressive, right? Like your sound.
So, yeah, I was big into Dream Theater for many years. And funny enough, I guess this is not funny, but you know, it's kind of anyway, whatever. So when the Rev, the original drummer for Avenged Sevenfold, when he was one of my favorite drummers, and when he passed away, Mike Portnoy recorded the Nightmare album with them and went on tour with them. So it was like that was a wild thing.
Wow.
When he was playing with them as well. But yeah, that's
your main dude.
Thing,
that's your main like top of the tier of all drummers.
Mm-hmm.
So you got into him very young then? Dream Theater?
Yeah, kind of like when I was a junior or senior in high school, was when I kind of started getting into Dream Theater, and I did a lot of marching percussion when I was in high school. I didn't really play drum set until
That's really good.
until I was in college. So a lot of the way that I play is very influenced by Mike Portnoy and drumline music. So, so yeah, but yeah, I mean there are like a handful, like what's his name, Andrea Vedrucci. He
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Vadrum.
yeah, he did lots of covers where he would play like progressive metal drums basically with an orchestra playing classical music. And he'll also do like some video game music and stuff like that, because video game music's obviously my jam.
Wow.
But yeah,
Aww.
so he's another good one. Yeah.
More Prime says that his top drummer is Riker and Zarain. Aww.
Thank you, more.
Thanks,
love.
More Prime.
You are. our
Remember
favorite
that the
Joe
next time.
employee.
Yeah, like I said, remember that the next time you smell those donuts. For me, like the drummers, it's interesting because I have two different kinds of drummers that I really like. And one is drummers that I like because I really like the style of their drumming, just their drumming, and sometimes it's personality, but often it's just kind of the feeling you get hearing them play. Like drummers in that category for me are like Thomas Lang. I really like Thomas Lang.
Oh yeah.
I would say I think my favorite drummer overall is Benny Greb.
Oh my God, babe. That's his other favorite. Oh my God, you guys are gonna be best friends. I swear.
That's awesome. Benny Greb's really cool.
Amazing.
Like, he's just a cool dude, but
Yes.
he's a super awesome drummer. He's one of those that'll sneak up on you. Like if you hear him for like 5 seconds, you're like, he's a good drummer. But then it's like 15 seconds and you're like, what did I just hear? How did he even do that? I really like him.
Yes, I agree.
The other tier is like ones that are in bands that I really like, and I appreciate them because they were in those bands. And drummers like that are like Nicholas Barker, who's like a black metal drummer. He was in Cradle of Filth and for a while, and in Dimmu Borgir for a while.
Mhm.
And the name escapes me now, but it's the drummer for Inquisition, which is a black metal band from South America.
Ooh.
I like a lot of black metal for some reason. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I like a lot of black metal. He's in a room with like a hood and he's like with shades. Wow, I would have never guessed. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, like so EJ Luna, he's a huge Portnoy, Benny Greb, Lang, Miniman, and Jojo Mayer. That's another great one. Jojo.
Yeah, Marco Miniman is oh man, that dude is he's an alien. You want to talk about aliens?
Right?
Good stuff.
Man, I was so sad when Mike Portnoy left Dream Theater and Thomas Lang auditioned for Dream Theater and he was not the chosen drummer. That would have been like I would have been like totally okay with that transition. I've been like, I'm okay with this. Let's continue here. But you know,
that reminded me
nothing
of
against Mike Mangini or anything, but you know.
Who's also a really good drummer.
A machine, right?
That reminded me of the one drummer that's in both of those categories for me, who also auditioned for Dream Theater, and that's Derek Roddy. Oh man, I love Derek Roddy.
Woo!
He's so good.
You guys are getting like all hyped up with the drummers, right? I mean, they're all and they all have like their own thing too. Like for me, so what are your favorite symbols then? Because I know a lot of drummers are all about the symbols and their setup. And what is it your preference? What you would say is your really go to like this? I need to have it in my kit.
So I have transitioned to an electronic drum set here.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm like so far out of cymbal land.
Brother, you know your answer to that question though.
But if I had one symbol, it would be, and I still have all my cymbals, but I don't have any acoustic drums anymore. As strange as that is, because I just don't want to let go of it. But so I really like Sabian cymbals. My extreme China is my symbol. That's my baby. And it's actually the second one that I have. I actually broke the first one on a breakdown. I don't even remember what we were playing.
Was it live on Twitch? Or
no.
No.
We were just practicing. It was.
That's anticlimactic.
Yeah, when it happens on stream, you know, and people see it, you're like, no.
Yeah, it was just we were just practicing for some show. I'm pretty sure, Zerain, it was during the breakdown in Identity.
No, that's a good one to break it in.
From Order of Tyr. So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's I like Sabian symbols, but a good China symbol is kind of my go-to thing. I just.
Oh, like that's your baby.
As long as it doesn't sound like a gong, then I'm okay with it.
Gong. I love gongs. I want a gong behind me.
Right.
Oh yeah. For me, I'm less of a brand dude when it comes to cymbals. So like the acoustic kit that I play on right now, I have hi-hats, I have a ride, I have an 18-inch crash, and I have an 18-inch China, and that's it. And all four are different brands. So it's a Peisty hi-hats, a Sabian ride, a Meinl crash, and a Wuhan China. But the one have to have now for me is the most recent addition to all of it, and that's those Peisty hats. It's 13-inch Peisty sound edge hats, and oh my goodness, they're so crisp and delicious, and they sound so good in a mix. They sound so good in person. I really love those cymbals. They're really amazing cymbals.
Wow, so you're not afraid to mix different brands of cymbals
No,
together?
not at all. Oh no.
Yeah,
but it has to be specific cymbals though, right? Because sometimes you'll get like a crash cymbal that just does not go with hi-hats or does not go with a different crash. I mean, sometimes you want that paired, but for the most part, I'm just like, what do I think sounds good? And yep, I'll take that.
Yeah, I had a Peisty Splash for the longest time, and it made this great attack sound, and it didn't just like resonate and sound like garbage, you know, as it was ringing out or whatever. It was just like, it was a good little pss, pss kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have the weird overtones in it.
Right. Needless to say, I destroyed it, but, you know.
It lived. It lived its life, and it did its purpose.
It was a good life.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how long do you usually have your cymbals, you think, between like you breaking them? Do you feel like you're a heavy hitter and you break them like very often, or you've had them for years, the ones you've had?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly have not cracked that many symbols. And I kind of got to the point where, like, if I did crack it, then I would just kind of, cut a little piece out of it so the crack wouldn't spread as I kept playing it. So it would give it a little bit more life. It
Oh,
wouldn't change the sound too bad.
too much, no?
Yeah, there was one crash that I had where I did that so many times where it just didn't like sound anything
Really?
anymore.
Oh my god, what?
But I don't even. Yeah.
It was
so,
like a cat. It had 9 lives.
right.
Wow. So
But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
for the most part, my symbols would last a pretty long time. The only one I was just like truly sad about was that China because it was expensive and
Oh.
it just sounded so good.
You guys
RIP.
know.
I think it's still in my parents' attic somewhere.
Oh yeah, I still have my drum set when I was a teen in my parents' house. I bought like a Tama Rockstar, and
Nice.
I did play it because I thought it was really cool to drum too. But yeah, I ended up being a singer more, and I got guitar lessons and everything. But but yeah, like I'm not gonna sell it. I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna end up having a whole array of like instruments everywhere. And I don't think anyone should quit. Like if you're passionate about something, just like the sitar, I want to learn how to play the sitar. Like I really love that instrument a lot. And I never played what was it, the piano guitar thing? I've never played one of those. Is that hard to play?
If you can play piano with your right hand and you just flip it this way and you're just playing the guitar like this, and then the neck, I mean, it has like some buttons on it where you can do some things, but the main thing is this little pitch bend wheel. So you get a really good synth sound and you hit a really high note and you just go wow, wow, and you feel like I can totally play this thing and it sounds fantastic.
Yeah. And it looks cool. It's different. So can you do you ever play Dream Theater live on your streams?
Oh man.
Ooh.
What's your favorite Dream Theater song and album?
I think Systematic Chaos is probably my favorite Dream Theater album. Although
Why?
I
Why that
really-
one?
I don't. It's just it. Okay, so first of all, so that one musically, I feel like it just kind of has like a really good flow to it, and like it has like a good intro, and then it just kind of like builds up, and then like a good outro kind of thing. Scenes from a Memory, I really like that one too, just from the standpoint of like it's basically just one long song, an entire album that's pretty much just one long song.
Yeah, that's my
but
favorite.
it actually has a really it's a concept album, so it actually has a really cool story in the lyrics going on. But yeah, I actually so I just a random side note, I taught drumline for a really long time, and I did a percussion ensemble arrangement of the intro track on Scenes from a Memory.
Really? That's so nice.
Yeah. So using like incorporating like a percussion, like a pit and like a drum line and like all that stuff. So
That's so cool. Do you have a YouTube that has any of these like in videos?
The Dream Theater albums, or that
Yeah,
thing
what
that
what
I-
yeah,
that I
the
arranged.
or was that like a long time ago, like for what was it, for a project, was it?
Yeah, it was for a drum line that I was teaching at the time. I don't think honestly that there's a YouTube video up for it, but
But do you guys have a YouTube? I meant to ask you guys that before.
Yes.
yes,
You
we do. As a matter
You
of
can go to
fact.
hacker.tv/YouTube, hackr.tv/YouTube, and that'll redirect to it.
I'm gonna see if Luna's in chat. See if he can help me out with that one. I want to make sure that I get that up. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, their YouTube. So it's where can we find the YouTube? And is it the same name?
Well, yeah. If you want to search, you can search on YouTube for the CyberPulse, but we don't have a custom URL yet. YouTube changed it to where you have to have so many subscribers first. But so we created like a redirect link. It's if you go to hacker.tv, hackr.tv/YouTube, that'll take you to it.
Oh, okay. And is it on also your channel, your Twitch channel?
Yeah, we have links to all that in our panels.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, thank you so much. See, he got me. All right, he got you guys up there.
Awesome.
All right, awesome.
Thank you.
I love that. Also, do you have any questions for them? Like, I know I've been asking questions here, and I wanted to ask the chat if there's any questions that they want to ask Zerain or Riker, because I know EJ's everything you guys are talking about sounds like I've heard it from him, like with the favorite musicians, drummers, albums. So what was so you said that your favorite drummer, okay, but the album, what albums would you say from the top 10 albums that you are influenced or are your favorite of all time? For both of you guys.
I'll take this one right now, because I have just for this particular question, I have a Spotify playlist that I put together because I want to be able to answer this on a moment's notice if somebody ever asks me. But my favorite, my single favorite album of all time is by this band called Therion, and the album's called Gothic Kabbalah. It is. Everything about this album is wonderful. They're like a symphonic metal band, and they have male singers and female singers, and there's some orchestration with it. It's just very wonderful. But the part that really sends it over the top for me is that the lyric content is very esoteric and meaningful to me personally, and so it really hits me in the spiritual feels, if you know what I mean.
You said esoteric,
and so it's really interesting in that way. But Therion, just generally, I really like that band. That's hands down my favorite. But as far as like other bands that I really like, for the longest time, In Flames was my favorite band. I really like their stuff all the way up to pretty much Reroute to Remain. So especially their earlier stuff, I really, really like. I'm kind of a hipster in that way.
No, that's cool.
But another band that I'm really into right now, and this is the whole spiritual feels thing too, is a band called Persephone. They have an album called Spiritual Migration. That they're progressive metal as well. But they have like certain tracks on it that are basically like meditation tracks. So you have that kind of lighter feel, and so it's a little bit like what you're talking about with the meditation and metal, but it's not in the same song. It kind of transitions, so it's kind of like the whole album kind of goes through different things. It's really cool.
Okay, I know Llama, I know he's not in the chat right now, but he told me about that band before, and I never heard it before. He told me about it, and he does handpan streams. And he's a drummer too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and like
awesome.
and like we talk about it all the time, like how that's like meditate. We even did a podcast stream together where I did like sound healing with singing bowls and my voice with like frequency, and him on the handpan, but he's like a hardcore metal guy, So I was like, see, I'm like, we're a tribe, we're a type, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, it's so strange that, and it's very synchronous, right? That all of this comes together when we talk about it. Because it's like you wouldn't even think that would be a thing, but let alone all of these different people from different places really, vibing with it and just really being attracted to that sort of a thing.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, Silly Rabbit, thanks for coming in. So we have CyberPulse here in the stream. We have Zerain right here, and we have Riker, and they're both amazing musicians here on Twitch. And they've been. So how long have you guys? One of the main questions I forgot to ask you guys is how did you discover the platform Twitch, and when did you start hitting that live button?
Oh,
I don't actually know. Zerain, do you? Can you source that somewhere? I don't even know how I discovered Twitch, to be honest with you.
I told you about it.
There you go. That's how.
The way that I discovered... So I'm like way into survival horror video games. That's like my favorite genre of video games. And somehow at some point, probably this was 2014, 2015, I got the bug in me to go try to watch speed runs of survival horror video games. And initially it was on YouTube. And so like I really got into that and started noticing the same channels coming, the same people in all these speed runs. I'm like, wow, I wonder what they're speed running now. They obviously mastered this game. And then so you go and look at their descriptions and all that, and then catch me live on twitch.tv. I'm like, what is that? So I click on that link, and then they're not there. It's like, well, okay, you just kind of go away, and like I didn't get to see it. But you do that enough, and eventually you'll find a time when they're there. And then I finally was catching live speed runs, and then that was like a game changer to me to see people doing the speed run and then talking with people live while they were doing it.
Interaction.
It was like and additionally the whole extra level of skill to me it came across as taking to be able to execute at that high of a technical level speedrun wise, and then also manage watching a chat and interacting with people, because it's just I couldn't imagine even how one would do that.
And then Riker was like
me into it.
Riker, was he in right away? I feel like he wasn't like into it at first. Were you? Or you were like, yeah, I'll give it a try?
Yeah, I mean, once I kind of started looking around and stuff, I was totally in. And for the longest time, I felt like, so we did stuff on YouTube a long time ago, and we just kind of stopped doing it. And I always kind of felt like once Zarain introduced me to Twitch, I was like, wait, this is what we need to be doing. We need to do this.
Like it hit you, the bug.
Yeah, and I was totally in once that happened, and yeah.
So you didn't need that much convincing. You were like,
No,
I'm in.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to do some crazy stuff here. So yeah.
So then you started rigging it up and finding a way to do it while you guys were actually, guys, they're not in the same room. It looks like they are, but this is why I'm doing it this way, because they're actually in two different locations, but they stream simultaneously together here on Twitch. So how about that?
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. So, all right, let's see. So yeah, we discussed a lot today on from all the instruments that you guys play, which are a lot. Both drummers, guitarists. Riker is the lead singer, and Riker is more of the heavy hitter drummer, but they both drum at the same time too. So I always thought that was the coolest part, because usually drummers are like, I don't know, you guys must be like really amazing friends, because you guys balance each other. You know what I mean? Like one says, oh, your strength is my weakness, but my weakness is your strength. You know what I mean? It's like there's a balance there, and that's beautiful. I love seeing that, because that's what makes a band work. That's what makes, a actual project become, what it is, and that's how you create that magic. So they've been together making music for 16 years, guys, in chat. So that's pretty big. That's a big deal, I would say.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey all this time, but yeah, and I think part of that balance that you're speaking of, that's absolutely right. And I think over probably the past couple years, we've been very intentional at pushing that balance. So not trying to pick up the things that we're weak at and the other's good at. Like I really would love to get better at mixing, but he's so much better at it than I am right now that it just makes more sense for him to push that way and me to push into another way that maybe he's not as strong in. And that's just making us, I think, a more cohesive unit. And it's been a really interesting and fun experience to go that way instead of trying to get good at everything.
Yeah, because we can't all be like the best at everything, but that's why you get people that are your strengths and everything become like each other's, like echo, like the whole thing of it is creating that sound that you both actually can make together, but only with each other that understand each other and the sound that you're creating, because that's very rare, and that's why you guys have been together for so many years. It's like a marriage, right? That's what I always say. It's like you really have to I mean, it's weird to say that, but like it's true, because you have to like have this understanding, and music is basically what you guys are making, right? Like literally. So it says a lot, and 16 years is a really amazing, like, I mean, you guys, I don't know how else to say it, but that's kind of like a soulmate, you know, like a musical soulmate, somebody that that's what I hear a lot of bands say when they've been together for many years. They're like, yeah, we're soulmates. We're like, we've been together through everything, and we keep doing it, and we keep, so this whole journey here on Twitch is like another chapter of the 16 years that you guys been together. So where do you see it going, and what do you want to see next from after this? Like with Twitch, what do you really want to see happen now that you're streaming on Twitch and with the platform?
Personally, I would love to see. The platform itself, I think, is going in generally a pretty good direction. I think that what I would like to see is how it's going to play out, the culture responding to it, right? I think as we see younger and younger generations coming up, and live streaming being like nothing novel to them, right? They're used to it in the same way that we were used to VHS tapes growing up. When we have those generations coming up, we're going to see some really interesting innovations happen that will flip the way that we think about media. I think it's going to, we're really at this precipice of this, and I think this is maybe the second or third time I've said this, but like it's an inversion point where everything that previously drove media production, the things that drove it are going to be gone, and the consumers are going to become the producers in a large scale. So the point being is that the way that we will, I think, consume live media like things on Twitch is going to be more integrated into our life. And so it's going to become where the communities that we're building here become like many families for us in a very real way, where I think that the viewers are often going to start their own streams, and then so the streamer are going to be in the viewer streams, and so it'll be kind of symbiotic in that way. And I think that it's just going to create a lot of a feedback loop to really grow it, and it's going to really spread out into culture way beyond what it is right now. I think that what we're looking at with things like Twitch is truly the future. I mean, that is what media is going to be in the future. Low cost and time to produce, high volume, and then you can find exactly what you want because it's hyper niche.
Yes. Silly Rabbit is over here saying, I've got to see these guys. When do they stream?
Riker, when are we going to do it? Right now, let's pick a date.
Come on, honey.
We can do this.
Let's do it.
Today is the 24th of August, 2120.
You got to start setting those goals, make them reality.
That's true.
Manifest.
Riker, what day of the week is best for you, my friend? Your guys are going to see this live literally, truly here on this podcast.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Come on.
I mean, Zoraine, Sunday evenings has always kind of been our proclaimed the day for some reason.
That's true. That's true. I think so then
there's that.
That means that on, let's say the 27th. Let us say the 27th of September. That gives us a few weeks to prepare.
I'm in. I'll be there with you, X. I will be right there with you, and we will do something. I don't know what we're gonna do just yet, but we're gonna do a thing out there in cyberspace land.
Yes, commitments have been made.
Yes.
All right, so you guys heard it here first. September.
It's a karmically binding contract you witnessed.
When is it again? September.
27th.
I do have this video pulled up.
Oh yeah.
That's when it's gonna happen. Are we gonna see the video? You got it, Riker?
Yes, I got it.
Yes. All right, let's do it. Whoa. That was amazing. Yay.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I'm so hype. Hype in chat. Hype in chat. Wow, that was so cool. I'm glad that you pulled that up so people could see how awesome you guys are. And like, you know, so guys, the whole rig that we got over here, it's like this, you guys need to actually give them a follow, watch them, because that was just a little taste, a little sliver, a little tiny slice of the cake, so you guys could see and taste and devour all the sounds that come from TheCyberPulse. So, you already heard it, September 27th. I don't know about the time, but get the...
write that down.
Yeah, September 22nd, so 27th. My birthday's the 22nd, that's why I said 22nd, because I'm already thinking like, okay, it's the week after. Yeah, the 27th.
Nice.
Oh my god, guys, it's been following. Yeah, Silly Rabbit. Silly Rabbit's another one. He's actually a streamer that started streaming not too long ago. Yeah, Silly Rabbit, you would
awesome.
really enjoy. And yeah, the community here has been amazing. And I'm so happy that I got to get you guys on the podcast, because you guys are like, everything you guys were mentioning today is very fresh. The sound is different, and you're doing different things. So I'm excited for the future, because the future seems very bright for you guys.
Thank you so much. Well, we really appreciate being here too, because it's an honor for us to be invited to even speak about the things that we're doing, because you know, we feel like we're just a couple nerds over here in our corner doing our thing, and we really are touched that anybody would be interested in the things that we're doing in said corner.
No, new nerds are awesome because nerds rule the world. Come on now, like
That's fair.
even,
That's fair.
you know what I mean? And I think that there's a lot of things that we can learn from each other, and yeah, don't ever underestimate nerds. I love nerds. You know, the candy, the guys that are nerds, the girls that are nerds. I really love. Did they mean August 27th? Was it 27th of August or September, right? September?
September, yeah, because we have to get something together for that actual kind of variety show situation.
Yeah, they're gonna do. They're gonna be like the Saturday Night Live of music. That's what they're gonna do.
Yes,
Ooh.
yes, that's a great way to put it.
Yes, yes.
I like that.
So
We
remember.
always kind of joke saying like the energy drink of Twitch or something like that. But
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you guys really have all the energy, and you have everything. You have all the tools, everything you have to be able to do that, and just kill it out there doing the variety music streams. I really believe that, and I'm glad that you guys gave me this time and space to help me showcase that to everyone on Twitch that watches me, all the new people that are coming on I know I have lurkers in there, and also, you know, I want that you guys could come and you know, with fire, and come back into the streams and start streaming on the regular again. So I'm glad, I'm hyped that you guys got a set date now, because that's the goal, you know?
Yep.
Definitely. And thank you so much for the motivation, because goodness knows that it always helps when it comes externally.
Yeah.
The
we
candy!
definitely appreciate that.
Yes, more Prime has been here the entire stream. Thank you so much. Definitely the OG of the stream over here, because he's been here the entire time. So
That bro is 200% pizza red.
yeah, everyone on the stream has been amazing. Anna, amazing, especially. Even her name is amazing. With coming in here with so much love, and you know, the raid also. System Shocks, Nyx for the follow. CP Drums with the cheers, and also the subs. Oh my god! And then she comes in. She's like, "Oh, 100 biddies extra." Aw. Yay! Oh my god, such a boss. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the love, the bits, and the follows, everyone. But remember, the most important is to go check out TheCyberPulse, because they're going to be streaming starting next week. They're going to, you know, get their stuff and start doing it so that you guys could have, you know, some really good streamers to be on the lookout for, and jot it down on your calendar. So, and yeah, and the fact that you guys are doing it and not even in the same location, and make it work, That's dedication too. That's a big commitment too. So I'm glad we got that. So
Definitely giving it all she got.
so Riker, it's been a pleasure also to have you on the stream. You've been very, very awesome, and I really love the way you have your whole setup and your drums and your and what is it that you call the guitar piano thing?
The keytar.
The keytar. I gotta remember that next time. The keytar. So yeah. So you're gonna see him play the keytar. You can and the saxophone too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, get that guy out.
That has never come out on the stream before, but maybe
it's happening on the 27th.
Yes, September 27th is in fact the day.
So it's gonna come.
We do have a song, Zarain, that we just did for the Michael K channel that does have some saxophone stuff in it. So that can make an appearance.
Excellent.
So saxophone hype for Riker because he's gonna bring it out finally out of hiding and show us the sax skills. And also, thank you so much for singing for us. That was amazing. That was super fun. I love the whole metal game type thing that you guys got because it's different. It's very different, you know. So any last questions, guys, in the chat? Let me know if you guys have any more questions. We already know we have a set date, September 27. Make sure to follow them, TheCyberPulse, TheCyberPulse, and also make sure to check them out on Instagram and their YouTube. You're gonna put more content on YouTube too, right? Like what we just saw, was that on YouTube?
Yes, it was. We have actually another song that we're working on right now that we have played on the stream in the past. It is a cover of Strike the Earth from the video game Shovel Knight. So we're going to be kind of prepping that up to release it as like a single, and we're going to do like a video similar to the one that you hackers just saw. So yeah, that'll be kind of the next YouTube thing that we do.
All right, so I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. All right, guys.
We are too. Definitely pumped about being here. Thank you so much. Appreciate the invite so much.
Yes, and next time,
greatly appreciate it.
I want you guys, next time also, if, you guys have a different setup, I would love to have you back and doing the whole setup also live to play some more music if you guys are willing.
Oh, yeah.
I would be so down to have you guys,
since the last time we did all that, things have been a little physically disassembled to do some other things. Yeah. So we definitely have some prep work to do, but once we kind of get all that stuff set up, we can absolutely do that.
Let me know. You're always welcome here. You guys are amazing, very fun. I really feel like, having you on here is really something special because it's not only one, but two awesome musicians in one stream, guys. You guys got it here in YenYorkCity, all right? I'm giving it to you, and they're going to give it to you September 27th. So make sure to follow them. And I want to thank you guys again, and I hope you guys stay sane in this quarantine and create lots of great music, memes, streams, and everything in between. I don't know, that just rhymed. I didn't even...
That was perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, thank you so much. You both are amazing.
Thank you.
And I'll be there. I'll be there September 27th. And
excellent.
Shout out one more time so you guys could go follow, check them out, give them some love, appreciation, because these guys are amazing. So thank you so much. And everyone, have a good night. And I hope you enjoyed this YenYorkCity podcast with the TheCyberPulse. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.